New class changes 15th of July. What's up guys, Petko here. Good morning everybody, 8 o'clock in Europe. I woke up to a massive class changes hitting the PTR. I know it's early, but they decided to push it earlier than what they usually do. Now, maybe down the line this week they will do more changes, but for now, that's all we got. Let's dive in. First, Decay, right? So Death Knight, Rider of the Apocalypse, Morgreen got buffed by 50%. Again, Unholy was already playing Riders, that's pretty good for you. There's no way, in my opinion, that Frost will swap to Riders, but maybe if they keep buffing it, perhaps. There's been some bug fixes to Unholy Death Knight. I'm gonna dive in a second. As you can see, a shit ton of changes done to Unholy, primarily focusing on scaling and implications with your talent interaction. I'm unsure if all of this will make you better or worse. I need to log in on PTR and actually test it. So for now, I'm gonna withhold my opinion. In regards to Frost Decay, almost no changes done to Frost Decay. I expected actually a hefty nerf, but it seems like Blizzard are happy the way Frost plays right now, so they didn't want to nerf it. So I guess that's fair enough. The only relevant change here is the second strike of Frostbane now also benefits from Shattering Blade, which is actually a positive thing for you. Alright, so Keeper of the Groove, Balanced Druid. This is something that I've spoke about probably like 3 weeks ago. Keeper of the Groove, 2-set on Balanced Druid was busted. So now that it got changed for worse, hopefully, we're gonna log in and see exactly how much of a nerf that will be. But I would expect that will be a let's say hefty nerf in regards to the funnel damage / priority target damage with the tier set, which now might make Balanced Druid not as OP as before, which might make it lose the S tier ranking and potentially having Restoration Druid climbing the ladder. We gotta check it out and see if the nerfs are actually as significant. Following by Skill Commander, mostly Devastation Evoker POV. They want to make sure that the gameplay doesn't require it to like cast Deep Breath on cooldown pretty much. So as you can see, Commander Squadronian will no longer pair enemies behind you. That's the 2-piece. And Commander Squadronian also damage increase from fire by 40%. Alright, I mean, fair enough. Let's see what they say here. The following changes are intended to discourage deep breathing long after they have already flown over your enemies. Okay, so you just want to cast Deep Breath, cancel insta once you go over. Fair. That's fair. That's healthy. Following Hunter changes. Long-awaited BM nerfs. Let's see if they're relevant. Dark Ranger BM got buffed. Black Arrow by 20%. Phantom Pain goes from 15 to 20%. And the Bell Toes damage increase from 3 to 4%. That's a buff to Dark Ranger. They keep trying to buff Dark Ranger. This is the 4th consecutive buff in a row. I don't think this will be enough to make Pack Leader obsolete compared to Dark Ranger, but we gotta log in, give it a test, and see exactly how much it got changed. Obviously for better. Pack Leader. So they're trying to buff Pack Leader Survival Hunter. Again, last season or season 2, Pack Leader Survival Hunter was actually most of the time preferred choice. Right now, Sentinel does better. Okay, so they're trying to make Pack Leader once again the dominant hero talent for survival. So tip of the spear damage bonus increase from 10 to 15%, which I think is pretty good, given the fact that your wildfire bombs are majority of your damage. So that's gonna buff them by 5%. That's pretty healthy. And dire summons now has been updated. Q command reduction increased to 2.5 seconds instead of 2 for survival only. Okay, that's pretty healthy. And your Mungo's Bite Raptor Strike from 1 to 1.5 seconds CDR. Fair enough. It's actually pretty healthy buff for Pack Leader Survival. We gotta give it a try today. The 2-set bonus stat bonuses reduced from 6 to 8%. Now I don't know if this is gonna be for Pack Leader Survival or Pack Leader BM, because I think it's gonna be Pack Leader in general, Survival and BM. They wanted to compensate both Survival because they wanted to nerf Pack Leader BM, right? So I would treat this as just in general if you play Survival or in BM. Got nerfed. They now fixed the 4-piece to be working on Rashan and also the ship, which is very good change. The 4-piece on Beastmaster Stampede got nerfed by 35%. Again, that is nothing. I spoke about this on stream. This is nothing. They need to get nerfed. Like this 4-set needs to get nerfed by like 70%, and it's still gonna be top DPS. That's how OP it is. I still expect BM Hunter to be insanely OP, especially in Raid and Mythic Plus, but again, I would give it a try today and see exactly if that's going to be impactful. Sentinel 2-piece is now removed upon getting the 4-piece. It's pretty healthy, why not? And the 2-piece on Sentinel, Boon of Elune, aim shot damage increase from 20 30%. Interesting. So they're buffing Sentinel MM Hunter. I don't like Sentinel MM Hunter because that Ranger has so much value on single target, on proud target damage. Gameplay is also much better. But it seems like they really want to double down and make sure MM Hunters are playing Sentinel. Interesting. I don't agree with that, but gotta give it a try. Maybe Sentinel now is gonna be actually the best. I mean, it was already the best in terms of pure AoE. Now it's gonna be even better. So we gotta give it a try. Beast Mastery on top of the tier base nerfs, you get also a 3% auto nerf to the spec, and also a Huntsman Cone nerf. Okay. So now all of this combined together will drag BM Hunter a little bit down. Unsure if they're gonna retain now the S tier after this nerf too. We'll see. Following by some Mage changes, Fire, Frostfire, Fire got nerfed, both 2-set and 2-piece and 4-piece. I think Fire was doing absolutely fantastic in Raid and Mythic Plus, High Mythic Plus, with the Ignite build, so that nerf is gonna be, I guess, relevant to them. Spellslinger Arcane got nerfed, the 2-piece. I think it was deserved. Arcane was already so much, it was so dominant that I expected that to get nerfed in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see. But I think this is Spellslinger 2-piece nerf in general, both Arcane and Frost, which I think is a question mark. Frost didn't really need the Spellslinger nerfs, but sure. Arcane Mana Forge 2-piece. This was already updated last week. I'm not gonna cover it. Nothing new. Having a Frost Mage here. The 2-piece got buffed last week. Now the 4-piece got nerfed this week. The value going from 10% to 8%. So they're nerfing, they're doubling down on nerfs on Frost Mage. Interesting. And Sunfire Arcane got buffed. People did not play Sunfire Arcane, but now they might give it a try because they buffed Arcane Phoenix and Meteorite. Monk changes. First, we're having a Brewmaster change here. Harmonic Surge increased by 80% if you play as a Master of Harmony. And Mistweaver got a 15% buff in that regard. There's some bug fixes done here for Brewmaster, specifically Nizao. I told you guys this was something bound to happen. And they finally doubled down and changed a lot of bugs surrounding Nizao. Good W change so far from Blizzard. Moving forward to Mistweaver. Mistweaver on top of the Master of Harmony buffs, he also got a Shielding Gift buff by 20%, Vivify positive change, and Chi Harmony being nerfed from 50% value to 25%, pretty much halved. Well, sometimes in life people take, people give, you know, that's fine. Paladin Lightsmith Paladin got buffed in durability, more healing, and more absorbs, but your damage got nuked. Laser weapon deals 66% damage reduction. Oof. And also Hammer of Anvil cast at 40% effectiveness. Oof. That means Prot Pally, although that was not the best tank, we're probably looking at like 20% at least damage nerfs minimum. I haven't done the math yet, but that's going to be the minimum I'll go for. Maybe more. Templar Retribution Paladin, there's been some bug fixes in regards to Empyrean Hammer, which should now make it better. However, this sentence makes me question that. Fixed an issue causing Hammer of Light to cast only one Empyrean Hammer instead of 3 when it hits a single target. I don't know, chat. That to me sounds like a negative thing, but we'll see. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's been no changes done to Rogue, question mark. Nothing for Warlock, nothing for Shaman. I mean, at this point, I'm just questioning. Nothing for Priest. I expected Disc Priest nerfs. I don't want to have 3 seasons in a row Disc Priest being meta. There's nothing for every single target, okay? Warlock, Affliction needs some urgent buffs. Nothing for them so far, okay? Rogues, Outlaw single target is horrible. They gotta get buffed, okay? Assassination single target, although the AoE is insane, I would argue of nerf the AoE of Azeroth, buff their single target, or at least make the talent tree better so they can not lose that much single target while speccing AoE. That would be fantastic. But anyway, last but not least, we're having a warrior changes. Colossus, played by Protection Warrior and Arms Warrior, got nerfed. The 4-piece got nerfed on Colossus, fine. Mountain Thane buffed for the 3rd time in a row. It was dog shit, now it might be less dog shit. We're gonna give it a try, see exactly if this would change the playstyle, but they are doubling down and they want to make sure people play Mountain Thane. This is the 4th or 3rd buff in a row. Maybe now Mountain Thane can actually win. Maybe. We gotta give it a try. And we're having a Slayer changes here, most specifically played by Fury Warrior. This line was done last week where they nerfed Slayer. This is from last week. But this week, it seems like they buffed the effectiveness of Reap the Storm from 100% to 150, which should be a minor buff to Slayer 4-piece. Overall, not too bad. I mean, I expected way more changes for Fury Warrior. Pretty much nothing. Protection Warrior fueled by violence got nerfed. Now it's going to heal you less. So the value is going to drop by quite a bit. We're looking at like 25% less value. I mean, it was bound to happen, dude. The self-sustain of Protection Warrior was insane. So this was bound to happen. And that's all the changes so far, guys, this season. Bonus thing, Valor Stones are no longer going to reset upon the start of the season. I think Valor Stones is a dog shit system that should probably get changed, but yeah. Anyway, chat, that's all for the changes for today. Keep in mind, these are very early changes, so maybe they'll come a lot more down the line. We'll see. Peace out. Have a good day. See you on stream for testing.